Siddharam everybody, and special cordial welcome everybody tonight to our satsang. Tonight, before many people are celebrating Krishna Janam Ashtami tomorrow, some are celebrating on Monday, but we're going to do wonderful discourse tonight concerning this. A young girl from the Ramdas family, she asked me a question of how do you keep up Janam Ashtami? How do you keep up Janam Ashtami? Simple and so sweet question. Many people, Jule Jule Palena Yashodha. For many people, the highlight of Janam Ashtami is rocking that hammock. And tonight we're going to hear a little more about that. Tonight I come to you for a particular purpose. A couple of months ago, 3 months exact, in a Harnarayan family, Auntie Geeta passed away. Geeta Harnarayan, this is her 3rd monthly satsang. And it is my pleasure to support the family, her sons and everybody in this method of reading about our Dharma, reading about Garupuran, related to, what is to be done, during these ceremonies, these death times and so on. For the benefit of all. We started off on Zoom, to be honest, and we ended up coming on to Facebook because there are so many people losing family members throughout the world, not only in Trinidad. And unfortunately, it is more about singing a bhajan rather than learning something. Singing a bhajan is very important and it is good. But what is the sense of singing a song and you don't know what you're doing? Or why we do it as a Sanatanist, as a person following Dharma. Tonight we are going to start our discourse off in Garupuran, and then we're going to switch over to hear about Janam Ashtami. And as we do it, I am confident you're going to learn something, and we're doing this on the eve of these celebrations. So you will hear about the merit, what to do, how to do, etc. Please stay with me. And furthermore, for your loved ones, for your dear ones, if you know someone who has died, if you know some family that is lost, let's help them. Wonderful opportunity. Let's help them. Share the satsang. Put the name for me. Send the person in there. Baba, please pray for. And put the name so that we can utter a prayer. We can pray for these people to help them. Share the satsang for all those that will benefit from it. If you're watching on the repeat, please still share it. People will learn. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel so that you can get more and more videos. Tonight, as we enter into our discourse, everybody, as always, join your hands as we are about to start this phenomenal katha with the permission and the blessings of Prabhu. Om Gajananam Bhotaganadi-sevitam Kapeta Jambo Palachara-bhakshritam Umasutam Sho Kavinashkarakam Namami Viganeshwara Padapankajam Sarvamangalamangalye Shive Sarvata Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. last time, everybody. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Tonight, as we sing and we glorify again on behalf of the family of Gita Harnarayan, we are together tonight, but this will benefit many people. We are in Garuda Puran, chapter 8 of the Pred Manjali. Garuda is asking Lord Vishnu, could you please tell me all the rites that a person could do that is done when the person is getting ready to die? You've talked about in last month we talked about the sinful person. We've spoken about how they think, what their focus. I need 2 more days, I have to transfer the deed. A life of regret is going to end up in a debt of regret. You're going to end up in a time where you did not train yourself to have the mentality that is, there's a time I need to compartmentalize my mind. There's a time for work. When work is finished, cut that off. I need to focus on family. In family time, take a break from the television, take a break from the bed, and focus on prayers, for example, God time. That never happened. Every moment is about making money for the children. The children need money. The children need this, that, and the other. And whilst those things are important, it cannot be that alone. And it spoke about how the person wants, soul is being dragged out of their body because they're not ready to die and they don't realize they will die. And they want to embrace their relative. They want to hold on and they are beaten and clobbered. Sinful people that do not realize it is time. Your time has come and it's time for you to go. Tonight, listen. Garuda asks, could you please tell me what a godly person does, knowing that life one day has to leave the body or the person is dying? What could the children do to assist them? Let's go together in this first slok. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Sadhu Preshta Tvayayatam Karaksha Manusha Hridaye Dharma Karta Chayata Kritavata Raksha Kathayami. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Having asked this question about what is the proper conduct for the righteous, this is the response that Lord Vishnu gives. The good person, the godly person, the person with the proper thinking, finding his or her body in old age, with disease, the planetary conditions are not good, patraya good at all. It is unfavorable. Different sounds in Shakun Sastra, they talk about, when there are different marks on the body that indicate bad. So you know one. You know the one where in your feet, if the big toe is a little shorter than the next toe, and it's a boy, they say your wife will rule you. Likewise, these signs of death, the sounds of life, what they're referring to, when the person and the elders looking on tonight, you know what I'm talking about. When the person is lying on the bed and it's a different type of rackle, whether they inhale or exhale, it's a different song coming from here. You will hear elders say it's sounding like death coming. Another example, just as how we have the widow speak, and the widow speak is a sign from birth that this person is going to have a short married life. So you have remedies to fix it. The widow speak, I think I have it. It's a little indent here, like a triangle right here. Some people have it, some people don't. Just like how some people have elongated lobes in their ears. The longer the lobe, more intelligent, more spiritual, more highly acclaimed your soul was. In that text, it also talks about if the person in their dying times you find the nose looking a little twisted, it is a sign of death. Seeing these signs, knowing that death is near, the person is fearless. I once was doing satsang and I spoke about my Nana. And my Nana was my life. He's my example. And in his prayer, and long ago, people used to pray very loud. I used to ask him, Papa, if you got deaf? Because he used to get up in the morning and look at certain eyes for me and Om Shiva, Om Ram, Om Krishna. That was his prayer, simple prayer. And he'd say, if you're ready for me, come for me today, I am ready for you. But if you're ready, give me the strength to go. It was like really having a conversation with somebody. Fearlessness, alertness. Be aware. There's no need to be left in depression. When you know when I die, I'm going to go with God. That faith and vishwas that a person has in their Prabhu, even then, that good person, that faith, that knowledge, it comes true. You may be afraid, you may be sad to leave loved ones. I'm not saying no, but then you hold on to your faith and you get back strong. That one day everybody has to die, if not even sure about it, should make preparations for any sins committed knowingly or unknowingly in ignorance. What should you do? You set the bed where this person might be lying. Let's say the person cannot help themselves. So we put kush grass under the mattress, 1 or 2 strands, maybe more if you have. They mop out the room. We are accustomed seeing gobar being placed on the ground under the coffin. And we understand now from our conversation in satsang after satsang, the purpose of the gobar is to prevent negative forces, negative entities from touching people. We hear in Ramayana when Dashrath is dying, he sees all the loved ones. He's perturbed because he's remembering sin. He's seeing things that it has him very worked up, blood pressure on the rise. And the person dies under that circumstance. Tell me if it's you. Would you be able to think about God? Hurt, he thinks about Ram, he's very distressed, and he dies. So what we do, the person who is knowledgeable, take a little piece of gobar in a bucket of water and you mop the room so as to introduce this gobar but not to cause a scent or a problem. By doing that, the person is able to rest, especially let's say they have a stroke, comatose, or even if they're weakened, they do not find problem. We do this when children have bad dreams, when women are dreaming night paralysis and something choking them so and they can't get up in the night. One of the things Hindus do is pass or mop out with gobar. Very simple but effective tool. Then the person puts the kush grass under the mattress. The kush grass is the Holy Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Wherever they are, negative forces cannot come. By the head of the individual, we put the shaligram. The shaligram comes from that river in Nepal, where this is a manifestation of Lord Vishnu. And you would see people they put a diya, just like how this is here. You have your tali with your diya lighted and shaligram baba there sometime under the shade of a tulsi plant. And in the day they would put water, attar or the perfume. The best perfume to use in puja, attar, is that Iranian wood for the extract, the perfume extracted from flowers. That is what attar means. If it does not have alcohol, to be honest, the oil, that is the best. If a person can get the sandalwood oil or any type of rose oil, all these things are fine. And you put a little bit, you put your saffron, sindoor, tulsi leaves, incense, arti, a little prasad. It could be a katura with a grape or a piece of apple, a piece of fig, whatever you might have with tulsi leaf. If you can make stuff, fine. But if this is a sickly person every day, it could become cumbersome. So it's the easiest way. Sometimes people just put sugar. Some people, if they have mystery sugar, if they have sakaria sugar, if they have fruits, use that. God will accept it. Make sure and put tulsi. If the person is in a situation where they cannot help themselves, then the son or the daughter, pa, ma, touch. They might do it with their hand and hold ma and pa hand so. When the person does this, the little worship for the shaligram is done, the diya is burning, the tulsi is there, the incense is burning. By their feet above, we put up religious pityas. Pityas of Prabhu in his different forms. So as if they open their eye and you naturally would look what is, in front of you, lying down. When you see the pitya of Ram, Sita, Krishna, whosoever, it jogs the mind. Think of them. Jai Sita. So then we want pityas like that, rather than pityas of Nitya or any artist's expression, because the artist's expression might confuse an older, sickly person. They may not understand the intricacies of nowadays art, or modern art as we call it. And it definitely does not have religious significance. If it is a painting of the lingam, if it is a painting of Krishna, where the older person looking or the sickly person looking, they see it and it jogs their mind. That's different. Because the intention of the pitya, do you remember long ago? In the home, we had how many religious pityas in the living room? That was the design of our homes. That was the architecture in our home. So as the elders would sit in their hall, as we would say, their living room, and they would gaze upon the pitya, sitting right there, you would jog your memory. And many people still had their prayer room, their puja room, one side, and still they would have God pityas in their home. Do you decorate your home with religious pitya? I go from home to home. Do you know the in thing now? We get the best architecture, we get the best builder, designer, materials, concrete board and all these different methods of building. But our religious pityas and murtis have become a problem. They have become something of to hide, to compartmentalize into a prayer room, because we need to put different things. We need to have the hip things so that people will see the hip things, the nice things, the wonderful things, but the God things. In a Hindu home, it's missing. Gone are the days when we put the Ganesh on the wall. Do you put your Ganesh over your front door? You see people putting their elephants on the pedestal, on the post, maybe by their doorway, their stairway, for sometimes vastu reasons, sometimes for just prettiness, design. But it has a spiritual benefit. When the person has tulsi plant growing by their house, we understand that. When they have a lingam to offer their dar, we understand that. But when you are in your moment, in your living room, and you look up and you see Hanuman Swami toting that mountain, Hanuman Baba boy, the trouble is real. Help me now. It is a means to help the person throughout their life, to jog the memory. We spoke in the Shravan about training the muscle, bicep muscle, no muscle training. When time to use the muscle can't function, it can't live. What about this muscle? Just to repeat, you don't train this muscle to think about God, to use God in times of pain and happiness. The day you're in trouble, the day you're on your deathbed, will you think about God? These children are trying to arrange things so that you could do it. But if you never do it before, will it work now? That is left to be seen. The person is supposed to say the little offerings. Let's say the flowers is going, the tulsi is going. What mantra to use? Lord Vishnu, 8-syllable mantra. Om Namo Narayanaya. 12-syllable mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He should call to mind, listen to the names of Mahavishnu, Shiva. The name of Hari, Lord Vishnu, coming in the range of hearing, takes away sins of people. So how do you do that? Play a little bhajan. Pull up the YouTube. Pull up the CD, whatever you have at your disposal. And just let it play soft, not to cause a hindrance, not to cause an irritation. If it's too loud. But just to hear, Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan Ki Hai Aarati. And you know what he is remembering lying on that bed? Maybe the katha, maybe it's Prabhu, maybe tears start to run down the eye. But the blessed individual remembers in youth, when in the village it used to have Bhagavad. As children, we would run just to get a parsad. I remember going Bhagavad with my father. I remember going Bhagavad just to get the food. You will hear the old people say, Baba, that Ramayana Arti, that Sumeran, oh, that Ramayana Visarjan is carrying me back. Another tool to help them. Keep them mind, keep them mind. Don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. Panicking don't solve nothing. Don't panic and let your mind run and go all over. No, this is just about, let me sit down and Ramayana Visarjana ho. And in that moment, let me go. Let the soul leave the body on that positive, very calm and tranquil note. With that type of calming memory and helping the mind go to God. Blessed people, great souls, bhakt, they are afforded the opportunity without pain, without suffering, to die happily. Relatives coming near the disease, do not mourn. These are the true relatives. Remember we spoke about what is a relative. A relative loves you and they do what they can do to help you. Sinful people have people what they want to do, what they can help themselves. They thief your pension, they want your gold, they want your land, they want your money. How they benefit. But the blessed person, he has a different caliber of relations. These people spend their money, they give their time. Blessed tonight is every daughter and son that sacrifice their job and their own time to sit by the bed in the nursing home, visit day in, day out, day in, day out, the patients in the hospital. As a pundit I go, and you see it, some people, they're so happy, they're so blessed, their daughter and daughter-in-law. You come to bathe me, you come to make sure I'm good. Pundit, my children don't make a joke, you know. Pundit, I don't know what I do in my last life to inherit children like this. My son will bathe me as if I'm a baby. The love, the care. I don't care what I have to do, I'll do what I have to do. I don't care what I have to do, you know, the duties, your daily chores, whatever. You could be going to a cinema, you could go online, you have so many things you could do. But when your relative in trouble, the true family, they give the compassion, they dare. And that is a sign of a person who is Jivan Mukh, a person who has that character, that blessedness, that even while they're alive, it is as if they're surrounded by devotees. These people should help the sickly person. Do what? Remember the name and meditate on the story of Mahavishnu. The 10 names of Lord Vishnu. Let's hear this verse. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Masyaha Purmoyatam Parayashcha Narasimcha Pamanharamo Ramesha Krishna Buddha Kalki Tatva Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. The family should focus on the 10 forms of Mahavishnu. When Bhrigu Muni had cursed Lord Vishnu, you will come upon your 10 times. In the Mastya form, the fish, the Kurma form, the tortoise, Varaha, the boar head, human body, Narsingh, lion head, human body, Vaman, the dwarf form, Parshuram, Ram, Krishna, Buddha, and Kalki is yet to come. These 10 names should always be meditated upon the wise. Those who recite them near the diseased individual, that person is a relative. There are people that will sit down with their Chalisa, private hospital, public hospital, no difference. Poor rich person, No difference. You have that one family member or entire family, they will take out their guitar. They're not ashamed of the Dharma. There are some people ashamed. They would not put a religious picture in their wall. They would not put a Ganesh, a Devi. But when you're in trouble, you're calling on them. You want that help. So why can't we, just like what happens in India, why can't we inculcate our devatas, our God, as per our tradition, in our homes? That's a question I'm leaving to you. Do you have religious pictures in your home? Do you have your murtis in your home? Do you watch them and remember them? Send me a message tonight as you are viewing now and tell me, what do you think about that? Somebody might say, Baba, to tell you the truth, Babs, I don't like to put the religious picture because I just be cooking fresh. There are no secret. We talk straight. But what I want to ask you, do you think when you're eating the fresh, because the murti or the pitiya, they God didn't see it, do you think there's a place where God is not? That is not the point. God knows we're eating. God knows we're drinking. God knows everything. The purpose of the pitiya and the murti is to help you realize God. Think about that. That is not for God. God doesn't need me to worship Him. That is for me to stabilize my mind. This is Christian. This is my Christian. I am going to do puja today. I am going to remember Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva as I get up in the morning and I see pitiya. To help me train this muscle. Family members that do these things, sit down, sing a bhajan. People who come to help you pray or pray with you, that is family. That is the definition given here. Of all the forms that Vishnu has. Let's hear what he says in this verse for the benefit of our dear Auntie Gita. Let's read it for her tonight. Sita Ram 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 Krishna ti mangal nam yasya checha paratam yena tasya vesmatam bhavati sukhate mahapatetam bhavati sukhaye mahapatetam kodaye vipranaye harinam ta Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Mujhe prem ka amrit pila de Prabhu Mujhe prem ka amrit pila de Prabhu Mujhe prem ka amrit pila de Prabhu Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram 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 Siyapati Ramachandra ki Jai. He says, Krishna Ti Mangalam, of all the names of Vishnu, the most auspicious is Krishna. Krishna name, just by chanting it, burns away millions of recorded sin, and quickly the person is uplifted. The next verse here talks about Ajamil. Ajamil is that individual who is able to call the name of Hari Narayan, Narayan, at the time when the life was leaving the body. And when he was going, Yamdut would come and they say, oh Ajamil, you are very sinful. We were waiting, we were plotting, we were planning, we were sharpening the blade as it were, waiting for your soul. And now will punishment start. And Ajamil is looking up, he got some clovers, he got some licks, to be honest. Bhagavad it gives full discourse. And then the attendants of Lord Vishnu and Lord Vishnu himself reach. And they asked the Yamraj, why are you beating this saint? And the Yamdut are confused because they know this man, he cheated in marriage, he did everything wrong, he took off his journey, he started to eat all type of things, he stopped chanting Gayatri mantra, all type of sin. And Lord Vishnu says, but at the time of death, he called my name, he calls out Narayan. So the Yamdut say, Prabhu, that's the mistake. He wasn't calling you. He was calling his son. His son was going to touch a dear light. And he got afraid and he was going to call his son. And in the moment he went to call his son, his life left him. He wasn't calling you, Prabhu. And the Yamdut, the Vishnu Dut, the workers of Lord Vishnu laugh. Lord Vishnu tell the Yamdut, or the workers of Yamraj, God of death, you don't understand the value of my name. A person does not have to know what it means. A person does not have to believe in it, but chant it and it will burn away lifetimes of ashes. Much more so, much more potent, if the person believes in it, if the person wants it. Prem se bolo Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. That is Gurd Puran discourse, and I'm pausing there to jump into, where am I going? Vrat Puran, Mahapuran, Krishna Janam Khan, Krishna Janam Khan, chapter 8. When we hear the name Krishna, the other day I was talking to Pandit Rajendra from Shovana side, one of my Hindi teachers, and we spoke about, he was telling me about the name Krishna and how Krishna comes from the word Akarshana. Akarshan is the type of prayer that causes somebody to be infatuated. There are different prayers for different purpose. And sometimes when, maybe in a marriage, the guy loses sight of the wife, or the wife loses sight of the husband. And if Baba, I want a mantra to bring back my wife to me. I want to bring back the passion in my marriage, to talk frank. And Akarshana mantras are created for this purpose, to reignite, to relight this love, this passion, infatuation. People use it for nefarious reasons as well. They want somebody that does not like them, they want to make them like. Akarshana mantras, for example, I have, maybe, think about this. I have a visa appointment in the morning, Baba, and I would like a mantra so that the person will like me. The person will give me the visa. So without the mantra, I wasn't getting the visa. But now the person will be favorable. The person is, let me say, flexible with you. And you are favored. You get in this case, the visa. So we use it in different instances. But it is a praise. In this case, the Akarshana is used to infatuate. Now bear in mind, when you're talking about Kanha, Kanha has a way, if you're a devotee and you know about reading his discourse or listening to his discourse. I've read all type, Ashram discourse, Matsya Puran, the other day we was reading Matsya when we were doing the Gayatri, Jayanti, Sunday gone. And in all of them, it's very nice discourse, good, it's all is God, very good. But when you come to Krishna, it is a different level of bhakti, it brings out a different level of emotion. And this is what he is about. Krishna comes from Akarshana and he is going to distract you. Think about, we're getting ready for his birth, it's coming. And what does Krishna do? He interferes with Yashoda. Yashoda wants to do her job. Yashoda wants to do her work like any other mother. And he makes sure and he destroys all the pots, he tottles everything, he uproots trees, he moves carts that cannot move, he causes things to happen that makes that mother heart beat. When she's home one day, she hears he's dancing on Kalia, he's dancing on this snake. But the heart of this mother is beating because she doesn't see Mahavishnu, she sees her baby boy. But he has her so enraptured that she cannot do anything. And the lesson, I guess, inherently is that Lord Krishna wants you to do whatever you're doing, but do it with him in mind. think about the discourse. Balram comes to raise the alert Ma. Krishna is eating mud. He is eating mud, mommy. Kanha, do you have mud in your mouth? Mouth full. But the discourse goes that when Nanda had already gotten blessing, he had seen when Radha and Krishna was a baby, when they got married, Brahma was the Pandit. None knew what was going on. None knows the mystery of Krishna. But Yashoda now, her moment had come. And when she opens the mouth, instead you see teeth of gum and mud. She saw galaxies and universe, comets, planets. And she then realized who was in front of her. That he had put her under a spell. And he did not release her attention. He did not release her heart. He did not release her gaze. Yashoda is this person that wants to go so, and Krishna is pulling you so. I guess we are all Yashoda at some point in my life. Yashoda wants to bow and she worships him in this baby form. Krishna didn't want that. He wanted his mother. So he makes her forget. And she goes back to cleaning the mouth. Balram, your story. There's no mud in his mouth, only water again, only gum. Do you remember the peacock fella he adorns with? In Valmiki Ramayana we hear the history of that fella. Long story short is the eye of Lord Vishnu, the black in the fella. And this mother is she's so captivated by him. She says, you know what? You and me will see that's God. She sees her son. She puts a peacock feather like how we would put janta and tabiz to protect our children. The hing, the pin, the mother's pin on the clothes to repel negative. When they throw in flower balls, when the child is coming out of the car, when they're doing different things, 6 days and 12 days, they make sure the child is safe. Yashoda puts a peacock feather so that wherever troublesome goes, wherever chul goes, he will run away all the bad, because she's experienced potna, she experienced kidnapping, she experienced kalia, she experienced poison, all sort of trouble. Every day is something is coming. Her boy is in trouble. And the Akarshana effect of Krishna seeps into a person, infecting them with the love for Krishna. I am guilty of this myself. I read about all, I love all. But when you read and you get into a discourse, when you learn about your kanha, you get carried away, you get lost in that emotion. Tonight, Narad Muni wants to know about this. In this section of Krishna Janam Kand, he's talking about there was an older sister to Krishna, Vasudev's daughter. And he had just finished that discourse, and now he's going to talk about Janam Ashtami, how to do it, and what's the benefit. Tonight, for those of you listening, please prepare. Some parts of the world they're doing it Monday, some parts Sunday. And I'll explain, we'll touch on all that. And what's the benefit. Let's go together, everybody. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Keep on trying. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Everybody tonight, Narayan family, Har Narayan family, you're hearing drum. It's been a long time since I've been with music and reading satsang. Tonight I have my nephew and my niece, and God bless them. One changing drum, one next one to play tambourine. God bless these children. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Janam Ashtami Vrat Buddhiye Vratna Vrata Mutaya Mama Pala Jayantiya Yoga Yasya Sama Bharata Vadaye Prabhute Krishna Kritvayadam Sambaye Purnahe Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Narad Muni is speaking and he says in all the Vrat it have, Janam Ashtami Vrat is considered to be the best of all. Guruji, kindly let me know the result of doing Jayanti and the Ashtami Vrat. Tell me the details. Tell me of what is to be done and what is not to be done. And what is the blessing. O great sage, Narad Muni, O Brahman, listen carefully as you're going to learn about the Vidhi, the Puja. Narad says, Guruji, please enlighten me on the Vrat, the method of adoration, the discipline, the fasting, and how to end the fast. He says, let me relate, Guruji says, let me relate the way Lord Vishnu related this. On the 7th day of the moon, one should consume the leftover puja, yagya. The 7th day is today. Let's go to the patra. The Saptami Tithi in Trinidad at least started at 11:27. So it's going on and it's finishing tomorrow, where the Ashtami starts. He says, on the Ashtami Tithi, on that moon day, one should get up early and take bath. Prepare the body, you normal cleansing rituals, prepare themselves. Then take a vow, a vrat of fasting, do a sankalp. How to do that? Bend the index finger on the right hand, put it over the left hand, put a drop of water here, in the right hand, over. Facing the sun or the eastern direction, this is it basically. I, dear Lord, my name is, I live at so and so, and I am doing the Vrat of Janam Ashtami for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. I want to do it to make him happy. Then drink the water. Because the prayer there also says, bless me to do it. Bless me to be healthy. Bless me not to catch cramp. Bless me to be able to complete my Vrat. By performing the Vrat on the 8th day of the dark night, which is starting tomorrow, one gets the merit many times multiplied than if a person did the normal Vrat for Ashtami day in any other month. By doing any other Vrat, a person gets great benefit in comparison by doing this one in the right time. On that particular day, whosoever offers simple water to the person who is doing this fast, this Vrat, not the person, let me say I fasting, and you come to me and you say, Baba, drink a little water, you're fasting for Janam Ashtami. The person who gives that person, the fasting person, water, it is as if you have done Tarpan Shrad in that place called Gaya for 100 years. That is the type of blessing you get by giving that individual who is doing the Vrat as they are fasting. Give them water. If there is somebody home by you, please pay attention. It's a nice little thing to remember. You really want to share the bottled water or go and take up the rainwater and give them some to drink. After having bathed free from the daily morning routine, one should prepare the prayer room. They talk about making a labor room where Krishna is going to come, where they put scissors and they have the little fire. And these things are reminiscent of the delivery room. In today's world, we will do an altar where puja is going to be done. On this bedi, some people in Trinidad will use a cucumber. The seed, multiple seeds of this fruit is used. But then you could get the Bal Gopal form like this, where they dress him. I got this in Vindraba. This here, this creeping form. If you could see the legs and so on underneath. This is how they would dress this Krishna, Bal Gopal, you call this form. This form, you're going to prepare to do his puja. The person should offer the sodas upachara, the 16 offerings. That's the water, the chanda, and the milk, and all that, the panchamrita. What you know to do in puja. 8 types of fruits, things that have seeds, juice, fruit juice, made with nutmeg, pomegranate, bale, fruit, etc. All these things are blended together. You can also use coconut water, lemon, melon. All these things are blended and it is offered to Krishna. The blessed clothes, they decorate him. There's a little crown for this that fell off when we brought him upstairs. Water that has rose water in it. Mixing together madhupar, where you take milk, you make like panchamrita to give them. Offering of what we will call the dar, the erg, the water for sipping, using kush grass, ladle or spoon. The kush grass, you cut it up and you put a little tie, so when you sprinkle it, drop it. Bathing, maybe the seat, some people put him on the hammock in the jhola, in the jhola, some people put him on the bedi. Offering fragrance, flowers, if you have, as Mommy Baba has, she has the parijat flowers. If you could get parijat flowers, wonderful. If not jasmine flowers, if not the white chameli, where it has the sweet side, the double row one. Very applicable, very useful. Fragrance piece such as the sandalwood, kesari type chandan, like what I'm wearing now. These things are used. Ornaments, crown, flute, these things are also given to him. These items are meant for use in the different adorations. Washing the feet, wearing clean clothes. One should prepare a clean spot, the asan, for him. Chanting prayers like the Swastivachan is the prayers when the Baba, just to remind you, Om Apavitra, when he's sprinkling water, when he come home by you, those type of mantras. And if you're doing puja tomorrow, and we'll talk about that just now, you have where the kalsa is used and you're putting different leaves there. Krishna is invoked, yes, but also in that place you have Shashti Mata Puja, Hanuman is worshipped, Parashram is worshipped, different souls, the Saptarishi is worshipped, different things, and Ganesh and all these people. Narad says, Prabhu, please enlighten me about the prayer. According to Samved, what is supposed to be chanted when this is being done? And tonight, I am going to just say a couple of verses for you. Everybody please join your hands as we are praying now. Churna cha vyaksham bodhana Mula drav sungyung tamya Kasturi chandan sanyuktam Gandam cha grihatam hari. Prabhu, Krishna, accept the attar, accept the fragrance which is mixed with the powder of trees and their roots. Things included but not limited to kasturi. I offer these things to you. So you would find, for example, like this kasturi chandan has a different smell, it has a different scent. Sandalwood has a different scent. This is not just the white chandan that we buy in the store sometimes made from mud. This is gopi chandan. This is the sandalwood chandan, and these things are put on the murti and then it is shared for different people. The different mantras are offered. Pavitram nirmalam tayo karpura disamayuktam jivanam sarva jivanam parnatha griyatam hari. Accept this water which I offer, which is great, which is pure, spotless, sanctified by a little drop of camphor, a little dust. Happens to be the life of all creatures. Kindly accept it. This water is the life of all. And like that, you worship and you go from verse to verse. You do puja. So in the morning, in a very simple way, you may not have this exact type of murti, but you could have a Christian murti. And you go and you put your water and bathe him, put a little piece of cloth or a little, if just the cotton ball or the cotton thread, offer him something. Put a tick of him, perfume, sinew, saffron, your little flowers, incense, and arti. And then time to feed him now. If you have the fruit or you want to make prasad, offer those things. Put it for him. Something to drink, etc. Let's join together in this verse as we continue with our discourse. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Sanpuja Sarvadevasya Pranayanam Jadandva Buddhivenam Brahmano Vyayasta Naivedadataham Vyascha Dakshana Brahmaneyayatam Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Katatam cha janam dhyaye yuktaham shrunuyayatam vijaye bhavaditam tata push asanye vijaye puryahe angaye anghavrataye pratiyatam Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Thereafter, there are names that we call Sunanda, Nanda, Kamuda. These are the different cow herders. Radhika is worship. Ganesh, Kartikeya, Brahma, Shiva, Parvati, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Dikpal, Shashti Mata. The Sudarshan is worship. And why are these things worshipped? Because they are different purpose of doing puja tomorrow. People who are expecting pregnancy, people who are pregnant, people who pray for children, people who have children that have learning disability, children who are falling back in school, tomorrow is a very important day to do puja. Tomorrow all day I'll be doing prayers with parents to be. I selected this day to do a lot of puja. And blessed are those people and those type of children that they will get this type, this depth of prayer. Then one should listen to the story narrated in the chapters of his birth on the very night. So tomorrow night I'll be doing a little later because I have puja before. But I'll be doing as the time is going up to the 12 o'clock hour, the discourse where we have his birth, and then there's a chapter that talks about his Nam Sanskar, how he got the name, the different names that he has, for the benefit of all. Once you are viewing, you'll get it, you'll hear it, trust me. On that night, the devotee should be seated on a seat made of kush grass. Let me say, give me a couch, put 1 or 2 pieces of kush grass underneath. Why kush grass? Again, it represents Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and it repels negative. To be honest, if you're living abroad, I know I have viewers tonight from all the way in Holland, and they would not get, in England, they will not get the kush grass. So what you do, the sweat of Lord Vishnu is also the till. Sprinkle some of the till under your seat and sit there. Narad Muni says, Prabhu, you are most versed in the Ved. Tell me, what does one achieve by doing this Vrat? How does one achieve it? Remaining awake, serving food to the Brahmanas, the Gurus, etc. But what else? Guruji says, Lord Vishnu also answered this in the dead of night, the 8th day of the moon, in the Rohini constellation. This is the time Krishna came. Now there is some confusion over this, because Rohini is starting in Trinidad and speaking just after late in the evening. on Sunday at minutes after 9 o'clock. Minutes after 9 o'clock. And it goes on to Monday night. So some people are doing worship on Monday night because of that. But then we have to look at the Tithi. Because the Ashtami is starting, let's say 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock on the Sunday, which is tomorrow. It goes through the night on Monday around 6 o'clock in the evening and stops. So the Ashtami Tithi is not going to be there on Monday night. But the Ashtami Tithi and the Rohini Nakshatra will be there for the Sunday night. For this reason, many people are doing Sunday, and to me, we follow that based on this first verse. At the dead of night, the 8th day of the moon. There is no 8th day of the moon on the Monday. Please remember that. In the Rohini Nakshatra or the Rohini star, this is considered to be the time when Krishna born, at midnight hour. The one who performs the Vrat at that time, meaning in the day going up to that night, becomes victorious besides achieving all merit. This is why it is said it is termed as Jayanti. It makes a person victorious. Also, the intellectual should perform Vrat keeping himself awake. So in the daytime you do Puja, Murti Puja, what we just described. The Parsad, bathing the Murti with fruit juice, watermelon, coconut water, all these things are done. When people want to have different type of blessings for their children, to have different types of development for their children, this is a wonderful day to do that. Now in the night, the person remains awake, they sacrifice sleep. This is the time without controversy and all must be in agreement. So it is not a night for old talk, bacchanal trouble, but this is a night where you're sitting and you're trying to keep the vigil then of that 12 o'clock hour. It is prescribed, those well versed in the Vedas, earlier times it was prescribed by Brahma. The one who keeps himself awake performing the Vrat, maybe you are singing the name, maybe you're thinking the name, like me, I could be reading in your own way, finding or thinking of Krishna. Like how we spoke about in Garpran, looking at the piti and letting it jog your mind, remembering. For those of you who are living abroad and may not have the support because of COVID restrictions, for example, tomorrow night when it's 9 o'clock, we can't go by a temple. Temple are still closed. So you could do it at home. Pull up your YouTube when I'm reading all my Bhagavad discourse and listen to the story of Ajamil. Let it play in your home. Make use of it. The one who keeps himself awake performing the Vrat relieves himself or herself of all the sins earned from many births, and that person is able to achieve salvation. When Saptami and Ashtami are combined, one should not perform the Vrat when there is no Rohini. Rohini must be it. And once you have Rohini, you can do the Puja. This particular knowledge is not available in Vedas or post-Vedic literature in spite of it being for the welfare of all. In fact, it talks about one should break the fast after the Ashtami is finished, which is what we do. One should adore the Lord and break the fast in a timely manner. This removes the sins that is brought about by not doing the proper prayer, by not doing the proper worship, by not utilizing the opportunities that God has put in your place. A person inherits sins instead. Let's hear what happens in this sloka. Sita Ram Ram Ram, 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Sarveshwara Bhopavaye Devi Paranamishtiyatam Anta Palahi Rasakrityatam Dharana Parano Yena Ratram Sita Ram 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 Sita Mujhe prem ka amrit pila do Prabhu Mujhe prem ka amrit pila de Prabhu Mujhe prem ka amrit pila de Prabhu Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Naratru Parano Puruye Dritaye Rohini Bratatam Yati Nishtay Varana Puraye Arjanam Etva Mahimani Samyati Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram 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 Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. In this type of fasting, one should end the Vrat on the day because it is not otherwise prescribed. So when the Ashtami is finishing on Monday evening, some people will fast till Monday evening after 4:30. Some people will fast till the Rohini is finishing after Tuesday morning has started, 14 minutes after the 12 o'clock hour, midnight on Monday night. So there are those that will fast till Tuesday morning, and this is where it is saying how beneficial it is. It would never be broken, the Vrat should not be broken in the night. But the person passes the midnight hour, Jule, Jule Palena, Yashodha Julawe Lalena. We do all that. We rock the hammock, we've done puja, we fasted, we keeping up with, and the person continues to go to the morning time. And if the Rohini had finished in the morning time, then you could have broken the fasting. But now because Rohini is stretching on Monday night, when it does like this, the person is able to go and fast now until that Rohini is finished. When the Jayanti falls on Monday or Wednesday, and if one performs the Vrat on that day, he will never be born again by virtue of this Vrat. When the Ashtami is at the time of daybreak, during the rest of the period, the Naumi Tithi, where there is Rohini Nakshatra, on a Monday or the Wednesday, this sort of combination of everything coming together like this, that is very rare. And it comes 1 in 100 years. But the person should perform the Vrat with ardent faith, and that person overcomes all financial problems, all health problems, etc. by fasting. When it comes on the Monday and you're going into the Tuesday, sometimes it comes and it goes on. Such people who are poor, they become wealthy. People who are sickly become healthy. People who are barren become endowed. Remaining awake for the Lord bestows the reward of performing Jayanti Vrat, which is a different type of Vrat, but just by waking, you get that blessing. At that point in time, whosoever gives away charity without being cheap. You know, there are some people in Gita, it talks about Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, even in charity giving. Some people give £2 a dollar and they, oh God, are they bound to give that £2? Are they bound to give that? If you're giving something, give it with a good mind. Give what you could afford, definitely. A person behaves in a positive way, that person will achieve greatness. But if the person behaves miserably, then he will lose or she will lose all the merit that they have attained by doing the Vrat. If an intellectual is unable to break the fast on the day of the Ashtami because of the Rohini, that person, if he breaks it in the right time, he gains the blessings of forgiveness of sin from earlier births. The Tithi destroys by doing the breaking of the fast in the 8th Tithi, meaning while it's running, it destroys 8 times the merit that you could have get. The merit so good, and then you get damnation if you don't break the Vrat properly. Oh, best of sages, sometimes this Vrat runs on to a 3rd day, depending on how the moon, depending on the Mahura. There's a time to break the Vrat, and if broken in the correct time, the person is able to get great amount of blessings. For this reason, there are some people, as I said, will wait until the Ashtami is finished, which is happening at 4:29 in Trinidad time on the Monday. The Rohini is finishing at 14 minutes past 12 on Monday night. So the auspicious time is done by that time. It is done. It is completely finished. So Monday night there is no Ashtami, and Monday night just after you rock the hammock, the auspicious time finished. So it is not really for Monday night. When people go to eat now, in the night, when the Janam Ashtami is running, whether it's fruits, water, all these things turn into, it is as if you are eating the flesh of the cow, the refuge, the urine, because you are undertaking the Vrat. This is a person who is doing the fast. If a person is not doing the fast, this is different. But at the point in time, the best of foods for the human consumption is unfit for consumption, because you are in a mode of Vrat, you are in a mode of prayer. What more to speak of if you're eating, for example, it speaks here of boiled rice. Leaving aside all the time, the person spends the Sandhya in this quietness. And on the day or the Sandhya, when there is no more Rohini, when there is no Ashtami, now it is time to end the Vrat. On this ending day, when the Vrat is concluded properly, after remaining awake, a person is relieved of the sins of hundreds of births. Not easy to be accomplished properly. And I'm telling you, not many people do this. Not many people know of this discourse. Furthermore, the person who, during the fasting of Janam Ashtami, by doing the Vrat, depending on how the Patra run, they fast on. It is as if they had done an Ashwamedha Yagya. Without remaining awake, sometimes because of people's health, they cannot wake out. But they did the Puja in the day. Without the waking and performing the Vrat, the worship alone, one is relieved of the sins performed by him or her during childhood, teenage, young age, old age. There's no doubt about it. So because of this special time for the person now coming into prayers, for the pregnant girl or the people who are working shift, to do the waking aspect of this Vrat is very difficult when time is an issue or your body needs sleep. Because if a person is hypertensive, etc., it becomes troublesome. So for many people, tomorrow, for example, I'm doing Puja. And I did not tell none of the devotees to stand to fast like this, especially my pregnant girls, because they would not be able to do the rigor until Monday evening. Those people who consume food during the birthday of Krishna earn a great amount of sin. This is again for the people who are doing the Puja in the morning. Forget the fasting now. Fast without eating, fast without drinking water. Do the Puja. Besides destroying the merit of earlier births, it is considered unfit. This person is unfit for performing religious ceremony for devatas, pitras, and remains in Narak. In this way, what you do, how do you circumvent this? Practice makes perfect. So in practice you get it. What you do is, you do your worship during the day and you close off. There are many people, as I said, I'm doing Puja all day tomorrow as we do Santana Gopal Puja, Santana Gopal Vrat. You heard where we bring in Shashti Mata. Santana Gopal Vrat is done tomorrow for people who have different type of desires to have children, people who are praying for a child to recover. Maybe the child is in the hospital and you want the child to come out of the incubator. The child is in the belly still and you want to make sure this child is good, perfect, healthy, happy. This is the way to get it. When a person fails to do the prayer properly, they are in a place in Narak where they are bitten by insects with small teeth constantly gnawing at their body. For 60,000 births, a person is born as a pig when they fail to do the prayer properly. As a wild animal for hundreds, a jackal for 7 births, a snake for 7 births, a crow for 7 births, the deaf, the dumb person suffering with leprosy for 7 births, because the person did not respect the Janam Ashtami. They did not do it properly. People would go and touch Murti and want to go and eat KFC and so on. This is what is going to happen. Some people are born with anxiety. Some people have nervous disorder problems, schizophrenia problems. Why did God make somebody like that? Maybe this is one example or one explanation. He is born as an animal, a wild animal, a snake charmer, a thief, a vulture, a washerman, a washerwoman, a blacksmith, and then he is born as a purohit, the one who does the worship, as he's now given the opportunity to safeguard himself by doing the worship. If anyone is unable to perform the fasting and they should serve food to Guruji, they should feed the Brahman, they should feed their Guru, they should feed the elders. They do the puja, they do the fasting, but still feed people, give it in charity. Besides giving the money that you might give Guruji, feed the individual and you will get blessings. If that becomes difficult, remember we have COVID to deal with. Sit down by yourself in the morning after showering and so on. Practice doing pranayam. Remember for the Shravan we were talking about pranayam. We were talking about how to breathe and hold your breath and then come out. Practice. If that becomes difficult, practice Gayatri Jap and pray. Pray for the removal of sin. Let's hear what happens in this last verse in this chapter 8 of the Krishna Janam Khan. Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, 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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam. Evam Katatam Vatra Shrutuva Yadava Madhava Vatrayate Pratupava Supujanatam Vidyane Vidya Krishna Kripayatam Jai Bole Baba Tava Sharanam 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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam Samba Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. I had heard this discourse from the lips of Dharma, Mahavishnu himself, and today I have narrated to you this discourse as Guruji is telling to Narad Muni. What I have told you is no faulty information, it is accurate. And after doing this, this is why tomorrow night we have to listen now to the birth katha. When what you know already, and there are parts of it, trust me, there are parts of it we have to explore. The person, going back to Garg Puran in chapter 8 of Prit Manjali, the person who meditates for even of one moment on the form of Krishna, any one of his discourses that burns away, takes away sin as fire burns away any type of material. Even though accidentally touched, even if you touch it by accident, it will still burn you. In the same way, if you happen to hear it, if you happen to see it, if you happen to smell the puja, witness the worship, you will believe it, you will know it. But this is the power, as the Vishnu Dut is telling Yamraj, this person is still going to get the merit. So tomorrow night we can't go to temple. I don't know where you're viewing from. Whether in the Netherlands, Alaska, wherever in this world you are, and we cannot reach to do puja, we cannot, I don't know nothing. The first time I hearing this about doing the worship, the vidhi for the Krishna, then all you have to do is join in and follow me tomorrow night, maybe after 9 a.m., be a little late. But you'll be able to view it as we're going up to the 12 o'clock hour. It is not only about rocking a child or a cucumber in a hammock, it's much more than that. The sinful man is not able to make more sin, but by the power of Sri Hari Vishnu, uproots that person from that quagmire of sinfulness and puts him to grow as a beautiful plant, showering fruits, flowers upon you. Yamraj says to his servant, never bring me a man or a woman who meditates on the name of Lord Vishnu. Anyone, do not touch them. One should worship, and he does this verse here. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Damodhara Shri Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallavam Ramachandrayanam Janaki Vallavam. O servants, do not go near those people, those sinless people who take refuge in Krishna and Vasudeva Vishnu. He who is the supporter of the earth carries in his hand the Shank, the Chakra, the Gada, Padma, that 400 Mahavishnu. Bring those people who turn away from the nectar of Lord Vishnu's feet. Drag them, beat them, hammer them. Those people who had the opportunity to listen and to learn, to indulge in the worship of Vishnu, but they, I don't have time, I'm too lazy, I don't want to do that. Bring those people to me. Bind them, bound them, beat them, but bring them. But when you have a devotee, a bhakt of Lord Vishnu, who knows the essence of things, who, yes, they are doing their job, yes, they have possessions, but they are not ruled by that possession. They are not overtaken by greed. These are the type of people, leave them be. Bring those people that tongues never pronounce the name of God. Bring those people that never worship the feet of God. Bring those heads that have never bowed to that Krishna. Those people that never worship or offered fruit or any prasad to Mahavishnu. Know this, O Garud, by singing the hymns of Lord Vishnu, the entire universe is giving up its sin. People from all over this world, this universe. The performance of penance does not purify only the wicked man. It turns his body, his focus towards Lord Vishnu. And those people that are wronging, they and all get blessings just by being in the company of a devotee of Mahavishnu. By being in that positive company, you benefit as well. Just as the river cannot purify the water from when you mix it with alcohol, just so you cannot separate a bhakt. No matter how the road they take, but when they find that God, when they find their way back to Lord Vishnu, you cannot separate that person. By the name of Krishna, one is ridden of sin and never sees, not even in dream, like Dashrath. Remember at the beginning I told you how Dashrath was panicking, he was frantic. He saw his elders and those people that had died, and they were poking him and interfering with him, and he feels as if death is coming. But the devotee of God, the devotee of Lord Vishnu, not in dream he will see Yamraj. That person having a body of flesh, bones and blood, who towards the end of this life, whether he's giving cows, food, puja, they never fall into the Vaittarani. Hence one should worship Mahavishnu. That is efficient, that name is efficient in burning away sin. A person should read, should listen to the Bhagavad Gita, listen and chant to the Sahasranam, practice these things. Fast on the Ekadasi day, the 11th day. Fast on the Ganesh Jayanti day, read the Ganesh, offer water in your arg, in your dar. Leaves of the Tulsi plant, the basil plant, put it on the shaligram, put it in your food. Water, foot water, when they wash the shaligram, bring some of that water and drink it, put it in your food when they cook it. All these things bring about great amount of freedom when life is about to leave the body. Remember this, O girl. Then he must dedicate food, gifts, doing this type of dan. Listen to this verse. I want to pause in a little bit. Whatever a person gives in their last days, little or much, once it is approved by the children, meaning sometimes if you are not careful, elders could become little forgetful. Elders, and I'm saying this tonight because there are many children frustrated because, mommy is always mommy. And they could never make wrong, they could never make a mistake. But our text say, when you reach that age when they say twice a child, once a man, and you need the support of your children, grandchildren, etc., discuss it with them. Only I would like to take out a cedar, only I would like to do a yug, only I would like to feed the poor, I would like to share some cedar, some food stuff, whatever it is. In the last days when these things are done, it brings about salvation, mukti. In these days, a good child should not covet the wealth of the parent, should not fight for the money of the parent. This child, if he be a goodly child, seeing the father lying on the ground, the eyes starting to turn up, he does not covet the wealth. A good child does such gift-giving, charity, puja, doctor visit to prolong the father or the mother life. And when the life is no longer in the body, uses whatever wealth is left for the operations and the preparations of the puja in the bhandara, the bar, etc. This is how you know good children. Are they selfish or are they selfless? And when it is done in this way, not only the deceased, not only the soul getting blessing, but that blessed son, daughter, daughter-in-law. The daughter-in-law is a very important person. Do you remember her role when she's offering the water in front of the hearse? She's saying, go easy, I wish you, I bless you, reach safe without problem. Don't let the hearse fall down. Shut down, sorry. As a pundit, I have gone to do funeral in my younger days. And they're ready to load the body inside the hearse. And the hearse can't start that. They send our next hearse, we reach on up the road. Flat tire, that will offload the box, put it on the ground on the cloth, lift the back of the tire, change tire, pull back the body, and then we're going up the road. A lot of people see trouble in funeral. And you know what's the funny thing? In that funeral, the girl, she says, I never spoke to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law didn't give me the house. I am not going to offer that water. And that good wish that the daughter-in-law is capable of giving wasn't there. And you could see, based on what I'm telling you, the effect it had, because there are many examples when the daughter-in-laws, if she has four, the four of them do it, offer the water in front of the hearse. Ma, Pa, we wish you safe journey, reach safe. Why is that water being offered? Do you remember when they got married, when they married his son, his daughter-in-law, they come. The lady is the one who gives them that sweet water, sugar water, or sweet drink by the road, and she says, come by the kohobar. By that acceptance, I became a daughter-in-law. Now you are leaving. And I want to repay that kindness. I want to repay that goodly act and godly act. God bless you. When the daughter-in-law of every girl here tonight watching, my mother-in-law is giving me trouble. I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. Remember, you come alone and you're going alone. It does not matter what they do. What God is watching is what you do. And when you abstain and you fail in your duty, you will have to answer, I made you a daughter-in-law according to your Parabdha karma. And in that moment, there came a time when father-in-law, mother-in-law passed away, whosoever it be. And you were supposed to offer the water, but you said because you are not pleased with that person when they were alive, you are going to lose the opportunity, yourself lose the opportunity to repay the debt you had. Now you have a debt to pay. You didn't pay it while you were alive. You'll have to come back and pay it off. So if you're watching tonight and you're wondering, should I offer the water? I'm telling you, this stupid pundit is telling you. Save yourself trouble. Do it. When given the opportunity to repay and to give gratitude, always take it. You will owe a lot less people. And that applies to everybody. Tonight, as I conclude, get ready for your Janam Ashtami tomorrow. Please be looking out around 9:30. I'll be going live on Facebook again to read a different discourse, wonderful discourse from the Krishna Janam Ashtami Kand of this book. May God continue to bless you all. May you, those of you from the Harnarayan family and the Gita, may God bless you, the soul of your beloved relative May she be happy. May she know the type of children, the type of relatives that she has. That there's no limit, there's nothing stopping us. And that we continue to teach, we continue to read, and we not only keeping it for ourselves, we sharing it for all who want to hear. And God bless you with that. Tonight as we conclude, let's do a little chant before we close. Sita Rama kaho, Radhe Shama kaho, 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 Bhajman Narayana Narayana Narayan, Sita Narayana Narayana Narayan, Lakshmi Narayana Narayana Narayan, Swami Narayana Narayana Narayan, Hari Om Narayana Narayana Narayan, Hari Om Narayana Narayana Narayan, Sita Rama kaho, Radhe Shama kaho, Sita Rama kaho, Radhe Shama kaho, Bhajman Narayana Narayana Narayan, Sita Narayana Narayana Narayan, Lakshmi Narayana Narayana Narayan, Swami Narayana Narayana Narayan, Swami Narayana Narayana Narayan, Swami Narayana Narayana Narayan. सीताराम बिना कोई अपना नहीं, सीताराम बिना कोई अपना नहीं, राधे श्याम बिना कोई सपना नहीं, सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो, सीताराम कहो Radhe Shama kaho. Everybody, let's draw our hands as we do final pratna. Dear Lord, on this Saptami night, as we prepare for Vrat tomorrow to do your puja, hey Prabhu, thank you for this knowledge, thank you for this opportunity, thank you for that little girl Nirmala Ramdas who asked this question and gave me the idea of what to read tonight. Thank you for that child. That child has benefited so many people that they've heard about the value of Janam Ashtami Vrat. Prabhu, may you reward her and reward her family. May you reward Auntie Gita Harnarayan, the soul, Jivatma, and all her relatives, all her loved ones, all her dear ones. And Prabhu, all those people that will be doing puja tomorrow, God bless them. Those people that can keep up with Vrat, those people that can just offer dar, those people that can just do Gayatri job in whatever little or big way you're doing the puja. God bless you. Let's put together everybody. Tvameva mata chapita tvameva, tvameva bandhu chasaka tvameva, tvameva vidya Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam
Mama Deva Deva,
Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. प्रेम सोलो महापति महादेव की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, श्री आदि शक्ति माता की जय, भांगे बिहारी लाल की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय, जय जय Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Till tomorrow. God bless you. From me and Priya Mata. Keep good. We love you. Everybody, Sitaram. Remember, share the satsang. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share the satsang, everybody. People can learn. People can hear this. God bless you all. Keep good till tomorrow. Bye-bye.